Well, howdy, 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 y'all. Teresa here, and just me and the critters. It is May 6th, 2017, Saturday afternoon. It is 5 p.m. on this fine day. Bradley's gone at work. There you see Angel. There's a kitty. Hi, Angel. What are you doing, kitty kitty? Come here. Come here, my kitty kitty. Oh, come here, sweet girl. Come on. Just a couple more steps. Come on, you know you wanna. There you go. How you doing, girlfriend? Huh? For all of you that haven't really seen her before, that may be new to my channel, this is Angel, our cat. We did have a beautiful Siamese that passed away in December. So now we just have her, but that's okay, right? So anyway, let me do the weather real quick. Where's my phone now, Angel? Where is it, huh? Where is it? I done lost my phone. There it is. It is right now 77 degrees out. Real feel is 80. The high will be 77 and the low will be 59. So that's what the weather's like today. It's a beautiful day here in the panhandle of Florida. Looks like a million diamonds dancing on the bay waters. The tide is coming in right now. So, I'm going to show you guys the other animals later because I have stuff spread out all over. You guys knew yesterday that I said I had an order. And I looked on my order form and she had put what color she wanted. And so I whipped that hat up last night. I don't look orange on the camera, but it's a very bright pink. So she wanted pink. So, yep. So that'll be mailed out and be shipped out Monday. So I got that done. Let's see. I painted outside. I did do some looming, of course. I finished this. I think it's an adult size. Yeah, adult size hat. Right there. So finish that one. That was with white, red heart, and then the light and lofty red heart. I think it's titled Beaches. So is the blue and brown. Then I did this baby size hat right there. And then I did I think this is a large adult also. Actually, this one, let me take that back. This is a small adult. And this is a large adult. That I did last night. So, you have that. There's the underside. So, yep. Got all those 3 more to put in the donation bag. We're cranking along. I have 6 right now. So, I did that. Brad made, I cooked the biscuits. He made biscuits and gravy last night, and then we had some scrambled eggs with it. What else? So that's about all that went on last night. We got people moved in right next to us. I mean, right next to us. About 1 a.m. So, good thing we were not asleep. They apologize. And sometimes that happens. I know, maybe they got lost or something happened along the way. But, we always just worried that they were going to, hit our RV or hit our other neighbors, but it's all good. So, I slept pretty good last night, so did Brad. We each slept in, which was nice. I think he said he didn't get up till 11:30. He woke me up just right before noon. Which is good because tonight is the first night that they have extended hours for the summer again. So I did go outside and paint. Move this one to the side. And this is one I just finished today. It's a abstract. It's a 12 by 16. There we go. Sometimes it's hard to get all the newer ones in frame. But anyway, I'm going to list this later on. in my Etsy. I titled it Elegant Chaos. And it's an abstract design I've done. So, yeah, finished that today. Working on another kind of abstract. I've had people ask me where I get my inspirations before, and I don't know. It just comes, okay? But anyway, this one, I did some different effects on it. This is going to be my water down here. And I actually used a mix of watercolor and acrylic, and it gives me kind of this marbly effect. And then up on top, I used a travel size spray bottle. And well, I laid my background, and then I did the green mist for the trees and stuff. So, yeah, this is, I'll be working on this too. I'll probably decide because I'm gonna do. I wasn't ready to come inside when I got done painting, but my dogs were raising so much heck. Even though Brad was inside with them, they were raising so much heck. Missy was howling and crying. She is always that way if she's away from me. And Charlie was pacing and crying and stuff, and so was Nixie was just crying. I mean, Brad's in here with him. He's like, why don't you go outside and paint for a while and just and I'll just give you that time. And, he said, I'm going to be in here and watch some Netflix and cook some lunch and stuff, And it's like, okay, great. But I did get in about a good hour. But yeah, they're just horrible. So I got to talk with my granddaughter, called late last night. Oh, upset, 12-year-old going on, that's just the junior high, yeah. And, she's got some stuff that is not fair that's going on with something at school and stuff. So, I was talking with her, and so was Brad and stuff. And then got to talk with her mom for a while this morning. Had a real nice conversation with my youngest daughter and stuff. So that was nice. And then came in, had lunch with Brad, helped him get off to work. Then I decided I need to go in back, because I was looking for something in back. You know how that is. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to loom while I talk to you, because I just like to do that. How you're looking for something in back and you end up kind of reorganizing the whole thing. Yeah. So this is my Simwood baby loom, 1/2 inch, 40 pegs. On my Cindy wood. It is size 3 to 12 months approximately, and I'm just doing my my brim right now. I'm using some Karen cake. I'm running with the green, and then when I get to the main body part, I am going to do this, and then the offset color will be black. I have black already set inside this brim. So anyway, I like to sit and do this talk to you guys when I'm doing this, because this is if you were near me, this is what would happen is we would come in, grab whatever you're going to have to drink, unless you brought your own, and then we would just sit and chit chat, so it just kind of makes sense to me. I'm sure it does to you guys too. That would be my favorite thing to do, is sit down and talk with you and do crafts and stuff. Linda and I always kind of fantasize about that, and joke and stuff. But I can show you guys how I keep my needles and stuff. I use an old pill bottle. I keep all my needles, a few clothespins, or not clothespins, safety pins, needle threader, and so it's always handy. So, what was I going to say? I think I'm going to work on getting a schedule, maybe, so maybe there'll be a little bit more variety of content on my channel. I'm still pretty much just going to wing it, but I thought Saturdays would start to be maybe a story time, tell you guys a story that maybe, about my childhood or different events in my life that, happened that you guys might be interested in. And so, let me tell you guys tonight I'm making tacos. So I knew that'd just be fascinating for y'all. But today's story time is going to be about, I was about 5-ish, and my grandparents owned a bowling alley while I was growing up. And my mother really didn't keep an eye on me at all. And I would walk all the way up to the bowling alley. And she wouldn't even know I was gone. And here I was, 5 years old. And I would walk all the way up to bowling alley. Now this is, a considerable distance away. It's at least a good mile. And my grandfather would see me there, and I still remember this one instant. I'm sitting there at the counter. They had like a lunch lunch counter and stuff. And as kids, we were always allowed to go get whatever we wanted from the lunch counter. So anyway, I'm sitting there at the lunch counter. Had ordered my ice cream cone. Thinking I'm just so cool. My grandpa comes walking up. And I still remember this clear as anything. And he'd say, "Aren't you Terry Ann?" They always called me Terry Ann growing up. "Aren't you Terry Ann?" And I'd be like, "Oh, no, I'm not Terry Ann. Nope. Oh, you sure look like her. Nope, I'm not Terry Ann." So he'd walk off and stuff. And the story goes, from what my grandparents used to tell me, then they'd call my mom and say, "Hey, do you know that Terry Ann's sitting up here?" And because I was walking up there, and it was a very, very busy street you had to cross and stuff, and they would just be horrified, yeah, that's what I used to do. I used to go up there and stuff. I love going up to that bowling alley. I spent so much time. I always tell everybody that I just about grew up in that bowling alley. That's where you did your first everything just about. And I was on, bantam bowling leagues and stuff. And growing up and stuff, I used to be pretty good at the bowling. And then once I got older and stuff, I was really horrible about it. Because people would say, "Oh, yeah, we remember your grandparent. We remember you." Sometimes they say, "We remember you when you were little." And they'd say, and I'd say, "Well, don't think I'm not any good." So, and they're like, "Oh, you have to be, your grandfather taught you." It's like, I don't know what happened because, when I quit bowling for so many years and I just kind of lost it all and it never did come back. He used to get so mad at me because I would kind of loft my ball when I would throw it. So it would land about halfway down the alley. And he was telling me that there was a divot in every one of his lanes from me. And I would go up to the approach and I'd throw my ball and he'd be like, "Oh!" And another thing he never could break me of is I would, when you do your approach, I would slide on the wrong foot always. And it would just drove him insane. He used to come down there and work with me sometimes for hours. And I never realized until, I was much older and stuff, that was really taking out a lot of time from his schedule. But it was really a neat thing to have. You always had your own bowling ball growing up. And my grandfather drilled bowling balls. And he had the drill room was right by a trophy case, not too far from the front door. And he would let you go in there and watch him drill balls. And I remember I was always fascinated because in this room there were just so many bowling balls. And all at different stages. Some of them had been plugged, so they were going to be re-drilled and stuff. And he was known in Casper, Wyoming as that's who you went to have your balls drilled. And he just was so relaxed about it. My grandfather was a whistler. And usually, and he wasn't a man of too many words, but when he was working stuff, he'd be whistling. And, I can still remember he'd be whistling, and he had one of those great big drill presses. And he'd measure your fingers and all that, and then he'd, watching him have that drill press, and then he had a big old canister vacuum where he'd hold the nozzle right by the hole. And, so he'd be sucking up all the shavings and stuff. And just the smell of that room and stuff. Of course, you used to be allowed to, with him, you weren't allowed to go behind those machines just alone. But with him and stuff, and I know my father worked at this bowling alley for a while too. All of us did. So you got to go behind there and stuff, watch the machines work and stuff. I mean, you were really very, very lucky. You were allowed to go there and bowl for free as much as you wanted, unless it was like, a league night. I used to, when I was in my first marriage and stuff, once I wasn't working at the bowling alley any longer because, I had my daughter and stuff, and that if we needed extra money, what I would do is I would go up there on league night, especially on men's leagues, because they did not have the automatic scorekeeper. So, and the men didn't want to mess with keeping score, So, if you sat there, you offered to keep score for their for that night and stuff. They all chip in and tip you, and you'd make okay money, and that'd be enough money to go buy milk, or at that time I smoked cigarettes or whatever, but that's, how I made extra money is, and then during tournaments, they would actually hire you to keep score for these tournaments. And then, of course, the bowlers would tip you also. So that was pretty cool, And worked with my grandmother on many tournaments, doing helping stuff envelopes and do paperwork and stuff, and like the scorekeeping, and I did different commercial artwork for the women's organization and stuff. So it was really neat. So I always have fond memories of that. It was really sad when they got older and ill health and stuff. They had to sell the bowling alley, close it and sell it, and lanes were shipped off to Japan. They were all wood lanes and stuff. And I don't know where the machines and stuff, but everything was kind of sold off piece by piece and stuff. But that was really a sad day. I went up with my grandmother to help clean out some stuff, and it was really a sad day. My grandfather, he couldn't bring himself to come up there once it was closed. He stayed home. They just, But yeah, it was good while it lasted, and it was pretty neat. But yeah, my mother would get so mad because, like I said, she wasn't watching me at all. She was just laying on the couch, and, I'd leave and go up to the bowling alley. She wouldn't even know if I was ever gone, and, my grandparents would be very upset with her because she wasn't watching me at all and stuff. But, yeah, that's what I used to do. And, I still remember that my grandfather's always one too, because, I was a redhead as a child growing up, and then and it turned to auburn, and then it turned to light brown. But so I always had a lot of freckles, especially when I was a kid, all over my face. And my grandfather used to always say to me, looks like a little piggy farted on you. And I'd get so mad, and he used to just love teasing me, Looks like a little piggy farted on you. So, I still always remember my grandfather. He was always cold. He had served in World War II, and I guess they did something called, he had been shot in the leg stuff. He was in the Army, and then they did something years after that where they stripped the veins. I'm not sure what that was. But anyway, so he was always cold. He had phlebitis and took Coumadin and everything. And so he was always wearing a sweater year round. You know, like one of those lightweight sweaters that have the buttons. So, you know, he was usually wearing like a plaid short sleeve shirt and then the sweater. And he'd walk, and there were stools all around this huge L-shaped counter. It's a cafe part. Then they had booths in back. And he'd come walking up, and he'd straddle one of those stools. You know, they were anchored down with, yeah, in the tile and stuff, in the cement and stuff. They were long, you know, old-fashioned, the silver ones. And he'd kind of hike up his pants. And I always remember he used to always say, "What do you know, Terry Ann?" Or if you were talking to Brad, "What do you know, Brad?" And he loved my husband. Oh, he loved my husband dearly. That was kind of the son he never had, you know. He just really loved my husband so much. But anyway, that's my story time for today. You know, like I said, I gotta clean house here in a little bit. Yay. That's kind of a Saturday night tradition with me, if you guys notice. It's usually, that's what I'm doing, cleaning house on Saturdays. So, here's my ice maker going. Now I can show you a quick critter cam. Critter cam. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Dun, 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 dun. There's Charlie. Right, Charlie? Poor Charlie. Then there's Mama. And then way down here is the noodle face. Nixie, what you doing, Nix? Nixie. So that's the critters anyway. Let me move this here. Excuse me. Pardon me. Ooch. Pardon me. Linda and I were talking a little bit this morning on just text message. And I want to thank everybody that's giving me shout outs on this Hats for 50 Days. And it sounds like a friend of mine, Tresemme, she may know of a place that, she gave me the link of a place in Flagstaff that, you know, would be accepting hat stuff. So I'm going to check that out. And I appreciate, like I said, everybody giving me shout outs. Welcome to all my new subscribers also. And Linda and I were talking, she teasing me. And, you know, I keep telling her, you know, I keep hoping too, that maybe somebody, by some miracle, somebody would be watching this, would have, you know, a house that wasn't real expensive to rent, that they accepted large dogs that don't destroy anything, you know. And you never know. There may be somebody in this Panhandle area that says, hey, yeah, I got this house that, you know, if you want to help, you know, clean it or renovate it or whatever, you know, because that's what we used to do with apartments, then, you know, I'll rent it to you cheap and then we'll, you negotiate. But you never know, because it is very, it's been a challenge to fit everything in here, and then my craft stuff. And if you guys think, geez, is all she do is crafts? Yeah, that's my lifeline. You know, if I couldn't handle everything in life if I didn't have my craft to kind of get lost in, you know. So you never know. So maybe somebody will. But this is part of the reason why I started this Hats for 50 States is if you can always shift the focus on whatever you're going through into what can I do to help somebody else? What can I do to make somebody else's life better? And I always say it doesn't matter if you're still able to smile and if you're able to give somebody a smile, that's still contributing somehow. You know, being there for somebody to vent to. Because like that, I'm not anything, and I'm not anything special at all, and I know that. But, you know, I consider myself that type of person that people come to when they need to vent and stuff. Because if you've ever talked to me very much, you will know that I'm not very good at talking about myself, you know, unless I really get to know you, and then I'll start to open up some. There's some people you just do find yourself opening up to. But, yeah, I'm that type of person where it's hard for me to talk about myself or anything, so, you know, you just never know. Hopefully someday. Hopefully. So, anyway, that's all I got going on, guys. And I think you guys are awesome. And I love you guys. And I do cherish all of you guys' comments. And I'm going to try to get to the comments and stuff and emails tonight. I should be able to. But I don't think it'll take me that long to clean house. You know. So, anyway, that's all I got going on. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.